This brings us to the interior floor planning, and hopefully this will not be too confusing. I'll try to keep it as simple as I can. And we start with the existing floor plan. Again, remember these numbers because as we go through these plans, you can use those to identify things that you like and do not like in any given plan. Here is the existing floor plan. And this was the first look. I left this hallway where it is, of course. Left all the framing pretty much. As you can see, this piece moves down some and this piece goes away. Preliminarily, and I discovered this quickly after I started, it's going to take 4 steps down for one thing, and for 2 things, I was pretty sure you didn't want to be standing on this top step and trying to open that door, which meant at least there was going to be a landing here and then turn and go down somewhere or another. So I drew this first plan like this, and just looking at the door itself and the fight between these 2 doors, that was what led to that early decision that regardless of which entry we use and where it comes in, whether here, here, or here, the situation should be a landing and then stairs down. So at least for this first plan, 1208A, I automatically adjusted and put in, and I did it like this. For one thing, that door goes from a 36. You have a 36-inch door here, so this doesn't need to be a 36. But there's no need, I don't think, to reframe this wall to capture that 4 inches. But now I show as a 32-inch door, and I show it outswinging, which means this landing is level with the hall. So you can stand here and open it and then step in without having to step up. And this, when it's in this permutation, this is the path you take down. So you just open it, walk out onto the level landing, and then down your 4 risers to the garage floor surface. I'm sure, yeah, a person could probably arrange to have stairs come out this way if this is a hallway they want, but they don't want the stairs coming here. The automobiles that I'm showing here, this is a full-size pickup truck, and this is a pretty good size SUV, and obviously they're going to be fairly close together to get in the 16-foot wide garage door. So with regard to the landings, wherever and whenever they occur throughout these floor plans, you'll have to make a decision also as to how big you want the landing, how much space you want here before you begin to step down. And some plans will lend themselves better to a wider one and others will not. I thought this was plenty generous in any case. It's 3 feet this way, and there's at least 1.5 feet or so here. That much could practically be a precept to any of these plans, that you should have a landing outside there and stairs down to the garage floor surface. I think that's the safest and the most comfortable way to approach it. Zooming into these plans, this was the very first one I drew, 1208A, and I quickly made the adjustment here on the door width and the landing, etc. And so we start from this, the beginning. This was 1208A. Now before we start looking at a few other variations on the floor plan beyond 1208A, I want to cover a few just general things with regard to the kitchen and any of the baths. Where I'm showing a laundry, it's always at least 5 foot wide. Some of them are a little wider, none more narrow than 5 foot wide. And all the baths are going to be at least to code minimum, and at least with this 28-inch kind of pathway through. You need 21 inches in front of each fixture. And so any of the bathrooms you see will automatically be no tighter than that code requirement. This one's fairly generous. And to the point where if you wanted an actual shower instead of a tub in there, that's doable as well. And an extra one down here. But that's that. And then in the kitchen, I now know that you're just bringing your own island along, so this is moot, and you really have a lot of space here. And I'll just say after the fact, now that it's been done, now I know that if you want this wall in alignment with this one instead, maybe the refrigerator can come over here. These were just, if this was going to be cabinetry, this was just clearances that I recommend for seating. I'd like to see this bank of cabinets not protrude beyond this casing. I think it would look better, probably have better flow. like that. But that's up to you, and you can see I even consider pulling that wall back. You'd still have some of the sloped underside of the stairs here, and you would lose some closet space, but it might give you, it's just nice flow through here from the deck and down through it. But again, that's more work moving that particular wall, and you do lose some space inside this closet where essentially you open these doors. These are regular sized doors, but you open these and the ceiling begins to slope down. Now at the dining room, these were these three windows I showed you outside, and this is just still based on the idea that these are all three identical sizes. And so they're like that. I'm showing them with a space between them to widen them out, and I'll just parenthetically say it now, it's not shown anywhere, but if there are only two of these that match, then I would just use a twin window here, and perhaps one can go somewhere maybe at the end wall of the garage or the back wall of the garage. In any case, we should just get those used regardless. But here I was showing them in this triple unit. If you want a frame for that, something like this, or if a person was inclined, they could put together a bay window from those. If they're the three the same size, they could put together a bay window and really kind of expand your view, a person's view from this room here. And that would look something like this, and like this. But to return to the floor planning, we began with this particular plan. These walls are kept in place throughout these first 2 or 3 or 4 plans, where the bedroom stays the same size as it currently is now. This one locates the bath down the hall and the laundry close this way. So it's really, for these first 2 or 3, it's going to come down to whether you want the bath here and the laundry here, or the laundry here and the bath here. But this was the first one with the bath down the hall. You're probably going to want the laundry down that way, but I don't know that for sure. This wall's been returned to where it exists in its existing location, which is probably fine since you have your own island, which is probably going to take up less space than this. So that is 1208A, and this can be a tub or a shower. In any of these, they can be a tub or shower. Tub, a regular shower only, or a tub shower combination. Also, this one could probably actually have a small laundry tray in here if that's what you wanted, if you needed a laundry tray in the laundry. But next, I put the bathroom closer to the bedroom, to the master bedroom here, directly across from it. And I'm showing a tub in here. If you go with a tub, your laundry can be a little bit wider because we can maintain this 1 foot 10 inch code required clearance. So the laundry is here. There's not really the opportunity to rotate these machines and bring them down on this wall this way and still have a substantial door. This door is bigger than a bedroom door. But moving forward then, we flip the location of the bath and the laundry within that same space. This is showing with the tub. If you want, instead of you want a tub shower combination, if you want a straight up shower, you can have a little wider shower, but the expense is at the laundry. You can see this tray becomes a little more narrow. The laundry room itself becomes more narrow. Still enough for the 2 full-size machines. The other thing that happened is I brought these cabinets. I had shrunk them back to 18-inch deep in this plan to give a little bit more clearance through here. This brings them back out to their full depth, 24-inch full depth. And the only difference between these two, A2 and A3, is whether it's a tub shower combination in here or a straight up shower. And then next what happens, a few minor changes. The bath pretty much stays where it is as we go forward here, but watch this door, and this is whether you want it or not. If you want a little bit more space in that bedroom, maybe this door works out fine. Maybe there's going to be a dresser along this wall here, but I do show that in shifting to this next plan. I show that door opening being reframed a little bit further to the west. But also, we go back to the bathtub in here with all the code required clearances. And this is just a small pedestal lab because we're tight on space. But there's enough, if this is kept a shower here, or a tub here, there's enough if you wanted to rotate these machines, if you prefer this kind of an arrangement here, This door kind of overlaps here a little bit. If we keep that as a 32-inch door, which is generally what I use on a laundry facility. So that's A4, that's the next one. The only thing that happens is that door moves down here and the machines rotate. And moving that door is a fairly minor point. If you recall, we still need to have some sort of a little couple 2x8s coming across here from here with these joists hung on it to keep that ceiling flush through here. So that much was going to happen anyhow, and whether or not that door opening is shifted is really just a case of preference. Then the next several plans require a little bit more framing work, and because they involve moving this wall, particularly if you feel like you'll have enough cabinets in here without all these full depth cabinets along this way. The next several plans involve relocating this wall. Instead of just having a couple 2x8s here, we have to have 2x8s bridging here and then continuing and bridging here as well. Watch this wall, it will move and give us more room in that bathroom. Enough room that you can have a regular full-size vanity in there. You can see that the laundry doesn't change very little. It maybe gets another inch or so smaller, but otherwise this wall then moves forward where you are just left a space for 12-inch deep cabinets here on A5. This wall moves forward a little bit where you're just left enough room for 12-inch deep cabinets here instead of 24. So roughly 12 to 15 inches forward, and there's a flush beam hidden up in the ceiling that comes across here and here. Going to A6, it's the same thing. We need I leave those 12-inch deep cabinets, but because we're so squeezed for space, I go back to a 2-inch wall here, a little thin wall here. Here I have it full thickness because I'm wondering about the vent pipe from this toilet. But once I move the toilet over to the other wall in A6, then I go back to a narrow wall here just to get space for the laundry, space for the tub and its end wall, the path in here. But A6 does give you room if this was something that was required, if a double vanity was needed or absolutely necessary. This is one option that would give you that double vanity. 66 is kind of a minimum length vanity, double vanity, but it would do the trick. And so that completed a review of possibilities with leaving the hall and the entrance to the home, or the regular garage entrance to the home here to the south, all the way against the bedroom wall. These next ones move that location. They take all of this stuff and push it up here and move the hall from here down to here. And you'll just have to decide how you're going to live in here and what would work best for you, and whether the expense of taking down this framed wall here is worth it, and if this is a better plan for you. It cost us at the bathroom because we now have an entrance straight from the bedroom to the bathroom without crossing the hall, and then a way for people other people to use that bath. I show it in this plan. I show it to the east, but here's that same landing situation that we talked about earlier. We'll zoom out later for you to see how this interfaces with your parked cars, etc. But because we needed this entrance for people to use this bathroom that are not using the master bedroom, I've added a closet here projected into the garage over the garage floor to give you some sort of hall closet as well. And these are, there's no, again, if a person needed a laundry tray, they do have a 15-inch laundry tray that a person could have in here if that was something that was needed. But here now you proceed down the hall more to the center of the kitchen, and the bath is now provided with a direct access to the master bedroom. One of the problems with this one was the door to this bathroom from the master bedroom is right on the center of that wall. So if it was planned to be furniture on that wall, then this is probably not the way to go. Here I'm shifting it. I shift that bathroom door from the master bedroom all the way down here, and notice I also have shifted this closet wall. I know they framed that for 3 foot deep. I've shifted it back flush, so there's some work there as well. You can see that happening. But now this is the arrangement here. The laundry is still close to the kitchen. The bath is still here, but now we've preserved some wall space here for a dresser or whatever. Also, significantly in these plans, notice the bedroom door, now it shifts, necessarily it shifts where you get into the bedroom from the dining room. You'll see that happen here. You'll see this on a bigger view in a moment. And there it is, that one to A8. And the final one of these, what I'll call, so there were the hall south plans, which was A through A6. And these are going to be what I call hall central plans. I kind of like these for the way they link that bedroom straight to the bath. This one more than that one. All things considered, it's a little further trip, but it's probably more direct. If you're down here in the living room, you come right past the stairs and into the bathroom. Now A9, the final alternative on these hall central plans is to shift the bathroom this way again. Now people come to the bathroom from here. You still get to it from the bedroom here. The door into the bedroom is still from the dining room. The laundry is now down the hall. But this does not, at least I didn't show it. I'll probably go back and see if it probably is a possibility to have this situation, but instead of having just a full shower this way, you would lose the double vanity and go to a tub shower combination. In this situation, I show a full height linen cabinet. I'm actually pulling that forward a little bit so it's not buried back in this alcove. And your vanity goes from that double vanity that was seen here, the 66-inch 24 deep double vanity, to a 48-inch wide. It's still deeper than normal. It's still kitchen cabinet depth, but it's reduced to 48 inches wide and a single bowl sink. Also, it's somewhere along the way, because it didn't really matter, I have widened this closet to be a full, deeper closet. You'll see that a little bit better on the full view, but I did widen that out at some point there from a single door to a double door. But if you wanted the shower, there it is. Or if you wanted the tub instead of the shower at the expense of the double vanity, there it is. And there are also, needless to say, you don't have to use one of these cabinet styles here. If you wanted a regular closet style, I have it opening into the hall because you get a little bit more space than you would inside. But it could be open inside. There'd be a fight with these doors. Finally, if you go back to a regular vanity depth, 21 inches deep, and lose a little bit more floor space in here, if it was more important for a little larger laundry room, we could probably increase that by about 6 inches. Now, one thing I didn't mention again, missed that, when the entrance to the bath shifts here to the west, if that's what happens, if we go with this central hall and shift the bath to the west, this wall doesn't really need rebuilt. As you can see, it's not in any ways road. But another thing with these plans, just to know, this is where that beam needs to go in. Whether I assume it's going to be flush over the hall, but in this region here, it wouldn't really be necessary for that to be flush. This could be a drop beam here, and then you could just soffit this down where there's a little bit of a drop in the ceiling here and over the linen closet where no one would see. I think it's probably be nice to just have this flush in this region here, though. Now that finishes the hall south plans that we saw earlier with the A through A6 or 5, and these are the ones with the hall central. Now I think we'll zoom out and look at these from a larger standpoint, from the whole view of the whole floor plan. I realized I said I would try to keep this from being too confusing, and I'm probably failing on that, but at least it's thorough, and it'll probably be easier. I'll have these in a document that you can print off if you like and just look at them that way. But these are the ones with the hall south and hall central, and we'll just page through them. I'll note the little changes as briefly as I can. This was a little wider laundry facility with a 21-inch deep vanity, and we go to a 24-inch deep vanity and a little more narrow laundry facility with the linen opening out. Go with the linen inside the bath. That was the only change between those two. And then this goes to a double vanity with a shower instead of a tub. Then we shift the bathroom back down the hall east, which requires that wall to be reframed, unless you have the door in the center part like this. You can see that the vanity gets smaller in both of these. And now, beginning with A6, we put the hall back where it is, leave this wall in place, although A6 and A5, I think, maybe A4, A5, move this wall. One significant thing missing from this particular plan, as opposed to this one, is that there's no hall closet. If you will notice, there's no hall closet down through here. So this is probably quite a bit less viable than some of the others. And yes, you could add a closet over here, but I'm not sure what good it does you when you're coming in from the garage. You need a place to put your coat. That one doesn't give you a closet. We go to A5, at least that gives you a closet. You lose the double vanity in the bath, but at least at A5 you have a hall closet, a substantially nice vanity. If you want a little larger closet, a little larger laundry facility, go back to a pedestal lab in the bathroom at A4. A3 is just minor changes with regard to this door, goes back to where it was. So up A, A2, A3, this wall is left completely alone, including that framing. And finally with the bath down the hall there. So that was it on those ones. But through all these, I wasn't sure whether this was in the offing or something that you want to consider or not, but in all of these, the bedroom, dining room, but the dining room stays the same regardless, but in all of these, the bedroom was shown staying in its existing location. It's about, I think it's about 9'8" here to here. And then I want to begin to look at whether or not you want to enlarge that bedroom at all. So here are these. This is with that's a queen size bed shown there, just to give you an idea of scale, give you something to compare with. And so now we go from Hall South and past Hall Central, and I'm not sure this is desirable, but if you want a larger bedroom, this would be necessary, shifting everything and shifting this entrance. The entrance gets shifted all the way down like this. So now you have a larger bedroom, a larger master bedroom by about 3 or 4 feet, 3 feet anyway. But your entrance from the garage is now where you have to walk across this carpet to get into the kitchen. So the expansion of that bedroom comes at a pretty substantial cost in terms of your flow. And really it's what you want and how you want to live, etc., how much room you need in that bedroom. But this is one way to do it, and you could just study this on your own. The landing and all that stays the same. A closet is added here to give you something as you come in the door. That wall needs reframed to get this door through here. You do have a double vanity, a minimalist type double vanity here. I never like these plans where the toilet is right in the center of the room because you got to put the paper back on the wall. So that's not, if the double vanity isn't needed, almost something like this. And this is really just if that larger master bedroom is wanted. So this one increases the bedroom size from 9'8" to 12'2". We go a little bit further along, we increase that bedroom to 13'4". So this adds about 30 inches to the depth here. And this adds about 42 inches or 3.5 feet. And it's really just for no more than is needed in a bedroom. That's probably enough. But if that did want to be larger, because it is the master bedroom in the house, although frankly the ones upstairs work well too, one of these alternatives where the entry shifts down here are going to be necessary. Like that. Finally, I've taken some shots from the inside. I just did them with this particular plan, or one of these larger plans like this. I believe it's this one, just to give you a feel for that. I don't show you an overview of some of those other plans, but this was just to give you an idea or a feeling for where the interior was going. Showing your railing, what the railing that I assume that you had in mind, and some of the casing and trim, etc. I know now that these cabinets are to be white. Here I'm showing them at full height, 42 inches, and they're actually lifted a little higher than normal, maybe an inch or so higher than normal off these countertops and pushed against the ceiling. That's the tallest ones, that's 42. Whether you wanted to drop those to 36, I wouldn't really want to drop them all the way to 30. I think they'll look a little small in there, but that's between you and Jeff and Rachel and the budget, etc. And this is, again, this is just that showing this floor plan. This landing's going to look similar in any of the arrangements, whether it's here or comes this way and goes down that way. It's all going to look similar. And the overview of that last floor plan is like this. Whether or not you extended that tile surface to the front door, either way, people coming from the garage or the front door have got to come across this carpet. And finally then, this arrives us at the second floor, and we are almost through this. And one of the things at the second floor, the county is not, as I said, is not requiring us to make those floor framing members meet code, but the code states that we can't make things any worse than they were. And so right now all of these roof rafters are okay with their spans when they bear on these walls here. So all these walls, these three in any case, are left in place. But you can see there's a gap through here, which means these rafters here are stretching all the way over. So I think some sort of beam or some sort of wall or something needs put in here to pick up that rafter bearing. If we come down here and look at a section through it, I'm proposing adding a little, and so this right now is how it is here. This is not only wasted space, but again we have the issue of the roof rafters that need to be addressed. So I think we create a little space up there, whether it's, you know, where exactly its projection is. This is your 80-inch code required clearance from the stair, the plane of the stairs, and so we have this little passage up here. But they are also going to require us to fur down at least these areas over the living area. I show it for simplicity, I'm showing it all, but that's going to come down some. And so I call it a secret passage, but this little space in here I think would remain, and a person would have the option of cutting through to whatever happens back here. It could probably be a little bit wider than that. But for all these doors in here, these ones here, this one here, if there's going to be one in here, which I believe there is, those doors, because you can see once we fur this ceiling down, those doors can't swing into those closets or they're going to hit the plane of that furred down ceiling. So those will either, if you want them to swing in, they would have to go to double doors, maybe 40-inch wide, two 20-inch double leafs, which would be more expensive. So I'm just showing them instead of swinging in. On all those cases, those will need to swing out. And then, as I mentioned at the very top, this wall here, because we need space back here, I'm creating the bathroom back in here. This wall needs to be taken down and moved forward to the extent of this casing. It's still code compliant, but we just don't have the luxury to have all that space up there. Especially, it's only serving 2 bedrooms. So, firstly, that moves forward. And now I'm showing you these. Now we're going to review these closets real quick. All of these just become closets, and this one, this one, this one, and eventually one up in this corner because these walls come down. So here I show you the closet with the clothes against the wall. And you see this in section view. That's what it looks like with the clothes against the wall. You just have space for a shelf at about 4 feet, which is plenty big enough for any length clothes. Plenty of space to move in front of it. Here's a guy, he's 5'6". One of you guys is probably taller than that, but there's still room to move in there. There's the 5'6", and now I'm showing there's even room to put shelves along the inside wall, like this. So I just did that on all of these locations. You know, whether those are just empty spaces or whether they actually have these hanging racks and shelving, etc., is just a case for outfitting an appointment. Now, creating the bath, and I've kind of taken out the walls that need to come out and shown the general areas, and moving space, eating up some of this closet for the bath here, eating up some up there, and you still have, you know, both bedrooms. Now the bedrooms are identical size, have identical closets, so this is equal. Everything's equal up here. The bathroom, code compliant restrooms at the top of the stairs. You just come to the top and go here, here, or there, and that's it. As I said, the bedrooms are exactly the same, 172 square feet. Now this is the first bathroom here, with a full shower, tub shower combination. This is either plenum space or mechanical space or just dead space. We are picking up our roof rafters with these walls here, and so we're still remaining code compliant with the roof rafter span. And so 1208C was the first second floor plan alternative. This gets us a little larger vanity space. The ceiling starts sloping down at this line here. There's still plenty of space up there, but it starts sloping down here. I show a skylight in this bathroom. It's a west skylight, so I have to have shading on it or it's just going to roast the place, but it'd be nice to have some natural light, particularly since it can be just dropped between the existing rafters. C2, so that was C. C2 shifts the shifts the toilet to the central, gives you a little bit more counter space here. And finally C3 rotates this around, has the toilet facing this way, the vanity going back to a 42. And here, this is like a wall cabinet lifted off the floor with a little top on it, because this ceiling is sloping down, so this wall's 5 foot high here. So this is a little cabinet, you know, that you could put your towels and toiletry and so forth in there. And that is about it on the alternatives at the second floor. There's not a lot of different things that can be done, not even sensible to do a lot of different things. I think this is probably as good as it gets. And here is a section view through here, through the open passage and through the bathroom, just so you see these clearances. You see the ceiling, furred down ceiling here. There's a wall cabinet set up on something with a little top on it. The tub and shower in the background, and the door to the bedroom here. There's the closet, and if we put this, now this is a 6 foot person. That's a 6 foot person, and that's how he's going to look inside that secret passage. He has a little bit more space out here, but that's what it would look like inside the secret passage. And here's the same 6 foot guy over here, and in this one he's standing in front of the toilet here. And so you can see there's still plenty of space, head space, in that bathroom, or headroom in that bathroom. And I think that is it, finally. So feel free to page through this film or look through the document I sent you. There are some significant decisions. I'll probably outline those as briefly as I can in an accompanying email. But that should do it for now. I think this has been a thorough review. I think that your decisions are before you now, and it's the ball is in your court. But it's been fun. Thanks.